I am in Camas, Washington today with Cassie Marshall. And Cassie, what organization are you with?
So this is the Camas Ivy League. We are an all-volunteer group that is funded by our local nonprofit, partners with Camas Parks and Recreation, and we also are kind of overseen by our local City of Camas Parks Commission.
And then where are we exactly?
So we are at a city park. So this is the City of Camas Park, and there's a skate park here, but then we have some beautiful wooded area that leads down to the Washougal River. So it's an especially gorgeous park.
Yeah, it is. And your group today is making it even better because you're pulling ivy off of these trees. And look at this stem, that one of the ones they took off. This is just amazing. It's a tree trunk practically.
It really is. And sometimes they are even larger. We have taken off literally trunks before.
And so what is everybody doing here? And what are they, just pulling it off?
They are. So we try, our focus is to strive to get the ivy out of the trees. That's our primary focus. So once the ivy gets up into the tops of the trees, it actually spreads so much more. So it fruits and berries and the birds spread it. And so even though there's ivy on the ground, what our group tries to do is really get it out of the trees. And so that's just kind of a stopgap prevention to help keep the ivy from spreading.
And really, people don't understand that it's really detrimental to the trees because these trees are actually oak trees and there's no branches until the very top.
Right, so the ivy grows up the trees just prolifically, and it does. It kind of chokes the branches off of the trees. And then the other hazards are that when the ivy gets really big and heavy at the tops of the trees, it will actually bring the trees down. So to get it out and get that weight off is just essential.
And really, it changes its physiology of the plant. Like when they're growing on the ground, it's one kind of plant, but when it starts growing up, it changes.
Correct. So when it gets to a certain height and it gets the right balance of light and I'm not really sure what the physiological changes are, but I'm not a plant biologist, but it definitely does. And so that's when it starts to fruit and berry. So so getting it off the trees, that's why that is such a crucial first step. So.
And your group really has many events over the season. So where all this brown kind of ivy is, that's from earlier in the summer.
Exactly. So we hit this in June, and over the summer you can see some of what has died off. But then we could also see what we really missed. So there's a lot more work to do. And this is just one of many parks. We have hit parks and green spaces throughout Camas for the past 3 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
Making a difference.
Yeah. So Cassie, I see that where you guys worked in June, so that's dead, but you're back again. So it's an ongoing thing? You're back?
Unfortunately, it's very ongoing. So you can also see on some of these trees that we tackled in June, it's already coming back up from the ground and will be a couple feet back up the tree. So it kind of requires constant vigilance. The City of Camas has committed to working on some of the ground removal with us also, and that will be the perfect long-term solution. So like I said before, what we do right now is focus on getting it out of the trees and then coming back and trying to keep it out of the trees. So, yeah.
And then what about as homeowners? What can we do to help?
Well, I think the primary thing you could do as homeowners would be to not plant it in your yard because it is beautiful. It's a beautiful plant, and I understand the appeal, but once it fruits, the birds spread it to areas like this, and then this is what happens. Nobody planted this ivy here. It came and it thrived, and it is choking out our green spaces throughout the whole Pacific Northwest. So not planting it. If you do have it, maybe even consider removing it from your yard, especially if it's fruiting, which it often will along fences or on high walls. It will often fruit, and if you notice that, that would just be a wonderful time to take it out.
Right, right. So really there's some tips there for the homeowners, and also there's events going on up here in Camas and other cities, and we'll have all those links that if you want to be a volunteer to help get rid of the ivy that's really harming our woodlands, please go to Garden Time website and we'll click over there to those websites. Well, thank you for all that you do and all your groups. It's just wonderful to meet you.
It's really the awesome volunteers. They put in the time and the effort, and it's good stuff.
Yeah,
thank
definitely.
you.
Thank you.